do we tell them to rectify those situations when they did not have that growing up? And perhaps they may want, to have a strong foundation so that they, too, can have a family. I mean, what do you tell,
I think I got 3 points. I got 3 points to tell them. First and foremost, if you don't know about something, educate yourself on something. So if it's as a relationship, there's so many different relationship books on relationships that's out there. You got marriage counselors and so forth. And you don't necessarily have to see a marriage counselor. You can just go see a counselor, and they can help you set up and educate you on various things that you do to, connect with people and to build a relationship with people. The second thing is interview people. I mean, you don't have to be a reporter to go interview somebody who's been in a relationship for like years or been married for years and just speak to them, talk to them, learn from them. Learn what helped them hold themselves together for 25, 35 years. If a person doesn't know about finances, the first thing they're going to do, if you can't go to school, like some people don't want to go to school for that, so go pick up something from Susie Osman. Go pick up something from David Bach to find out about financial, how to make yourself financially secure and how to, go about working money. We got to do the same thing with relationships. Go out there and get some David Gray books. A lot of times people don't want to educate themselves. They're like, oh, I know because I've been in a thousand of them, like 5 or 6 other relationships or whatever like that. But sometimes those experiences
some people look at
don't
TV
help
too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Leslie mentioned that. Yeah, TV and TV, is absolutely horrible because, come on, we don't even have to go there. But, I think, I hate to sound, I know I have my own opinion, everyone else has their opinion, but it seems like, with open relationships, you're kind of, all of this work that we have to do as a community, as a team, in order to heal ourselves and begin to learn to have healthy, functional relationships, all the work that we need to learn how to do to get to those points, it seems to me like if you throw an open relationship in there, it's just like, okay, so everybody's basically, you got one foot in and one foot out.
Yeah.
And I would think for a community, honestly, where you don't have such a high proportion of people who have come from broken homes, whose spirits are broken, as in our community, if you've got a relatively healthy community of people who are just finding themselves, maybe open relationships aren't that crucial or detrimental to the society. But in our community, it seems like we don't really have that luxury because it's just like, hello, we got babies being born and, they need, functional role models and you didn't have a functional role model and, maybe we do need to start at the basics and just learn how to love each other and be together. I don't know.
Love ourselves. Love ourselves, our relationship with ourselves. We need to be real with what we want and be clear. And I think, in terms of, like, finding out what's best for you, I think you need to put out pure intention. Be like, what is it that I want that's best for not only myself but everyone? And how can I change what I've witnessed as growing up? How could I not repeat that cycle? Taking responsibility.
Yeah, I think if I may veggie back on that a little bit there, I would say too, that what you were just talking about, Lab, was that honesty.
Yeah.
First and foremost with ourselves. We don't take the time to reflect because that's one of the most forgotten teachers is our own personal history. We kind of
totally.
put that
contemplation.
And we never sit back and take a moment to kind of reflect on the road that we walked.
Exactly.
We don't understand that the road that we walked is a purposeful road.
But that's why we're kept away from it. That's why we're kept away from it with TV and all of these distractions.
Absolutely.
Because if we were able to sit and contemplate, we would we would explode. Our potentiality would just, it would be realized. And that's why it's in a lot of people's interest that we don't take that time to reflect on our lives and learn from the past.
Yeah, that reminds me, one of the 2 most healthy and productive and self-transforming years of my life, they were 2 years where I stopped dating, because it was just a period in my life in my, late 20s where, when I started dating, I felt like as a girl I had the advantage, because it just seems like, there were more boys, vying for you and wanting you. And I felt like I was in control. Then it started changing the older I got in my mid-20s and late 20s. The men discovered they had the upper hand because they were dating everyone from 18-year-olds, to 40-year-olds. And the men were getting slick, and I was getting I got it was a lot of lies going on. It was just a whole bunch of stuff that I just could not deal with. And I said, something? I'm taking myself out of the game. I can't even. And so I didn't date for 2 years, and I turned off my television.
Yeah, wow.
And I meditated, and I prayed, and I cried. I did a lot of crying. It was a very healing, transformative period in life. And
That's magical.
It was absolutely magical. That time that I had where I really came into touch with not only, what I wanted, but what I needed, at that time and in the near future for my life, it was wonderful. But I would have never even been able to, get to that point to know what I truly wanted as a woman, as a human, as a person. I don't think I would have been able to do that if I hadn't, taken myself out of the game and taken the distraction of television and the images that they push onto us. And I think like with what Dominique was talking about, with women, young girls kind of settling and this and that, I think it comes from a reluctance, to take yourself out of the game and say, you know what, I'm going to be by myself for a minute. Because if you really, are in an open relationship, 9 times out of 10, I think you really kind of need to get in touch with who you are and where you are and if that's really right for you. Maybe an open relationship is correct for some people. I'm not saying it's not. But for most people, I don't think most people are there.
I definitely agree with that. And that's why I started off by saying that it takes a very special group of individuals to be able to deal with that. Because we've been so, our minds have been so polluted when it comes to relationships and stuff like that, and from so many different areas. And since we don't have a structure to it and a blueprint to follow, then it makes it real tough because, like I said, there's no ground rules. I don't know of an open relationship manual or any books on it, not too many books on it, or any ground rules that say, okay, this is when you do this, and this is how this goes, and this is, so it just leaves too much open in this type of society, especially for people who haven't been on that mindset. We can't even deal with polygamy, which is a structured thing. So we talking about open relationships where there's
But we once could. But we once could. I mean, there have been many societies that practice polygamy, and it, I mean, that's my whole thing. And that's why I say monogamy is a social construct. I mean, it's like.
Right.
But I agree with you that there are still many societies that practice polygamy now. But I'm talking about the society that we live in. We're not ready for that. We can't even deal with ourselves. As individuals, we don't even want to look in the mirror. Right. So how are we going to deal with more than one wife or, having more than one
Come on.
relationship?
You could see yourself having more than one wife.
I mean, yeah, I could see myself, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I'm not ready for that. I know I'm not ready for that because it's a lot of responsibility, and I understand the whole concept.
Yeah, right.
I understand the concept of what polygamy is about. It's not just about having a bunch of wives, because let's also not get it twisted where we see some people who practice polygamy, but they corrupted it to their own spin. There's rules to that game.
But so we've got a few seconds left. Just basically, thank everyone for participating. Don't forget to visit our Facebook page, Inspirit Communications Talk Radio, Inspirit Talk Radio. I think it's Inspirit Talk Radio, yes. I will get this together, guys. Bear with me. Be patient. And thank you. and give us your input. I'm particularly curious to hear about someone who's in an open relationship and it's working and it's successful and it, all of that great stuff. Let's hear from you guys. Anyway, thank you very much to our panelists, Leslie Ann Brown, Michael Harper, Tawana Barnes, Arthur Barnes, and thank you so much, everyone who called in. Love you. Have a great day, night, wherever you are. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.